Good evening to all my loving children of 8th standard. 8 Gulmohar, Gloxinia, Geranium, Gladiolus and Germander. Good evening to all. So as per your suggestions and replies which you have replied to me last week, many of them told, teacher, you can take the computer basics next class which you have learned in lower classes. Okay, I know most of them are experts in computer field and have known this, learned these basics very well in the lower classes. But as years passed by, many of them might have forgotten these basics, isn't it? So it will be a brief recap for them also. Okay, I haven't covered much in detail about each of those topics. Just briefly a brushing up of all those topics. Okay. Children, you might have not learnt about this BIOS and operating system also. I have covered in this session that is BIOS, basic input output system software, and about operating system. And few parts inside the CPU cabinet. I will not take much time and get you bored on those topics. I will just give you a glance about those basic parts and we will cover the topics on BIOS and operating system. ഒരു ബ്രീഫായിട്ട് ബ്രഷപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് ഇങ്ങനെ കവർ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് പോവാം. ആൻഡ് പിന്നെ ബയോസും ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിനെ പറ്റിയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ലാസ്റ്റ് കവർ ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, സോ ലെറ്റ്സ് മൂവ് ഓൺ ടു ടുഡേസ് സെഷൻ ഓൺ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ബേസിക്സ്, ദ ബ്രെയിൻ ഓഫ് ദ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ, that is about the CPU and its main components, and about operating system and about BIOS. Okay children, don't get tensed. I'll not make you feel bored. Listen to the complete video, understand the concepts, okay, and then understand the concepts on BIOS and operating system also. Okay children, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, the first slide is on hardware and software. I hope everybody remembers what is hardware and software. A computer generally means a programmable machine which performs arithmetic and logic operations, isn't it? A computer mainly has two parts, hardware and software. Hardware is the physical parts or components of a computer. Physical parts name internal or external parts. Let it be whatever internal or external parts of a computer which can be seen and touched is called a hardware. And the software is a set of programs. It includes a set of instructions or data that enables a computer to perform a specific task. ഓരോ ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസും ഓരോ പ്രോഗ്രാംസും ആ ഒരു ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസ് ഇങ്ങനെ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിലോട്ട് ഇട്ട് കൊടുക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. ആ സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് പ്രോഗ്രാംസിനെയാണ് സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ. സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ഇസ് ദി സോൾ ഓഫ് ദി കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ. It cannot be seen or touched, isn't it? Collection of programs becomes a software, and these programs are written in computer languages. Okay, those set of instructions to perform a particular task is called a programs, and the collection of programs becomes a software. Clear children? Let's move to the next slide. Inside the CPU cabinet, what are the main parts inside the CPU cabinets? Let's move on to those. The CPU is a hardware that interprets and carries out the instructions contained in a software. Our CPU ഒരു ഹാർഡ്വെയർ ഡിവൈസ് ആണ്. സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയറിലുള്ള ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസ് എല്ലാം ക്യാരി ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത് ഏതാണ്? CPU. That's the CPU and its hardware parts. The CPU sends signals to control the other parts of a computer, almost like how a brain controls your body. നിങ്ങളുടെ ബ്രെയിൻ നിങ്ങളുടെ എങ്ങനെ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അതേപോലെ CPU sends signals to control the other parts of the computer. Okay, it is the main processing center which is responsible for performing calculations and operations that allow computer to run. Okay, main processing center for performing calculations and operations, okay, for your computer to run. There are many components inside the CPU cabinet. CPU cabinet nathu ഒരുപാട് components കാണും. The CPU is also called processor or system unit. Processor എന്നും പറയും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ system unit എന്നും പറയും. CPU നെ it is also called processor or system unit. Let's discuss few of the components which is there in the CPU. Motherboard, RAM, hard disk, SMPS, heat sink, microprocessor are some of them. Idellam parts inside the CPU which you have learned in lower classes. Okay, but few are there, few of the parts which you have not learned also has been covered. So that will be an interesting topic for you also. This is about the microprocessor, SMPS, system fan, motherboard. All these are the parts, hard disk. All these are the RAM, ROM. All these are the parts which is there inside the CPU cabinet. Let's discuss only few of them. Okay. Let's move to the next. The CPU is divided into three parts. They are arithmetic and logic unit, control unit, memory unit, input and output unit. You can see in the above picture. Clear, children? So in this arithmetic and logic unit, ALU, all the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all the calculations, arithmetic and logical operations are carried out in this arithmetic and logic unit. Okay, and the control unit is the most important part of the CPU. The control unit controls and coordinates the activities of other units such as ALU, memory unit, okay, input and output devices. This is the control unit, it is the most important part. It controls and coordinates the activities of other units. ALU, memory, input and output devices ellam control unit. Control unit. The control unit takes the data and instructions from the input devices and transfers them from the memory unit to the ALU and vice versa, and input and output devices. The control unit takes the data and instructions from different input devices, okay, from different input devices, transfers them from the memory unit to the arithmetic and logic unit and vice versa. It also sends the process data to the output device. Process data output device load send cheyyunnadum ee control unit aanu. Input devices lum pala data instructions accept cheyidittu memory unit arithmetic and logic unit il angotu transfer cheyyunnathu control unit aanu, and then processed data back to output unit lodu transfer cheyyunnathaanu control unit. The data and of each and every program is stored in the memory unit. ഓക്കെ, നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാ ഡേറ്റ നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാ പ്രോഗ്രാമിനൊക്കെ ചെയ്യണത് എല്ലാ പ്രോഗ്രാമിന്റെയും ഡേറ്റ എല്ലാം ഇവിടെ സ്റ്റോർ ആവുന്ന മെമ്മറി യൂണിറ്റ്. All the activities that you do on a computer can be stored on the memory unit. Clear, children? This is about the arithmetic and logic unit, memory unit and control unit. The control unit is the most important part. It transfers data from the input devices to the memory unit and back from to the arithmetic and logic unit and vice versa, and after processing the data it sends information to the output devices like printer. Clear? So this is ALU, arithmetic and logic unit, MU is a memory unit, CU is a control unit. Clear? Let's move to the next slide. The same thing explanation has been shown here. All the arithmetic and logical operations are performed by this unit. Control unit is the most important part. It controls and coordinates the activities of other units such as ALU, memory unit, input and output devices, etc. It takes the data and instructions from different input devices and the data accept it, transfers them from the memory to the ALU and vice versa. It also sends the process data to the output device. Clear? That is about the control unit. Memory unit, it is the storage place of a computer. The data of each and every program is stored in the memory unit. All the activities that you do on a computer can be stored in this memory unit. Clear, children? So these are the different units, three different units in the CPU, that is arithmetic and logic unit, control unit and memory unit. Let's move to the next slide. The types of computer memory. The computer memory is divided into two types. Okay, primary memory and secondary memory. This primary memory is also called the internal memory or main memory. Okay, primary memory is also called internal memory or main memory. This primary memory is of two types, read-only memory and random access memory, RAM. Okay, this read-only memory is non-volatile and random access memory is volatile. That is, non-volatile means data will be stored there permanently. Even if the computer is switched off, it will be there permanently if we have saved that data. Here volatile means the data gets erased when the computer gets turned off. That is volatile. Okay, the primary memory is also called internal memory or main memory. The secondary memory is also called the external memory. These are the various secondary memory devices: hard disk, CD, DVD, Blu-ray disc, USB flash drive. All CDR, that is CD rewritable and CD recordable. All these comes under CDs. These devices I'll be covering in the next class about the storage capacity and various things, CD rewritable, CD recordable and all these devices, secondary memory devices, I'll be covering in the next class. Okay, now let's move on to the primary memory, ROM and ROM, the differences of these two memories. Differences between RAM and ROM. ROM stands for read-only memory and RAM stands for random access memory. You can see the pictures here, RAM and ROM. Okay, ROM is non-volatile, that is, or non-erasable memory. Non-volatile or non-erasable memory. RAM is volatile or erasable memory. Data on ROM is not lost even if the electricity power supply is interrupted. Electricity supply interrupt ആയാലും data in the ROM il povula. പക്ഷേ RAM il if the electricity power supply is interrupted, it will be lost. ROM is used for permanent storage of data. ROM is permanent storage ആയിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നതാണ് ROM. RAM is temporary storage. ROM is of three types: PROM, EPROM and EEPROM. And the RAM is of two types: DRAM and SRAM. Okay, children, I'll know you about this PROM, EPROM and EEPROM. PROM is modified only by the user. It is programmable read-only memory. EPROM is programmable read-only memory that can be erased and reused. EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. And EEPROM is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, user modifiable ROM that can be erased and reprogrammed repeatedly. That is EPROM. And about the two types of RAM, DRAM and SRAM, I'll be covering in the next slide. Okay, programmable read-only memory, erasable programmable read-only memory, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Okay, and about this DRAM and SRAM I'll cover in the next slide. There are two types of RAM, that is DRAM and SRAM. You can see the picture here. Okay, the two types of RAM differ in the technology that they use to hold data, with DRAM being the more common type. DRAM stands for Dynamic Random Access Memory. It needs to be refreshed thousands of times per second, while SRAM does not need to be refreshed. This DRAM is 1000 times refresh ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കണം. പക്ഷേ SRAM അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. SRAM is static random access memory. Static random access memory. In terms of speed, SRAM is faster. DRAM ന്റെ കാലം SRAM ആണ് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ faster. As this memory need not be refreshed, SRAM is faster than DRAM. ഈ SRAM DRAM നെക്കാളും faster ആയതുകൊണ്ട് SRAM നെ ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് refresh ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. പക്ഷെ കൂടുതൽ ആൾക്കാർ ഏതാ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്? DRAM, because SRAM is more expensive. That is what it is written here. Despite SRAM being faster, it is not as commonly used as DRAM because it is more expensive. SRAM is being more expensive, it is not commonly used. Mostly everybody uses this DRAM, that is Dynamic Random Access Memory. Both types of RAM are volatile, meaning that they lose their contents when the power is switched off. Our power switch off ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിനുള്ള contents we lose it, that gets erased. That is volatile memory. These two types of are volatile memory. Children, I will just make you aware of one more memory called cache memory. CACHE, cache memory. It's a temporary memory used to store data that is likely to be used again. Okay, temporary memory that can be used again. It is located between the CPU and the main memory, that is primary memory. It is a high-speed memory and can be accessed very quickly, that is cache memory. High-speed memory and can be accessed very quickly, that is about the cache memory. Okay children. Next slide is about the motherboard. I hope everybody knows about this. It's a thin circuit board which holds some of the components like CPU and ROM, and as connectors to other components of the computer is called the motherboard. Various connectors connect ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് റോമുള്ള ചിപ്പ് ഇതിനകത്തുള്ളതാണ് motherboard. Thin circuitry board ആണ്. The motherboard is a main part of a computer and is also known as the main circuit board, logic board, and so on. Okay. It serves to connect all the parts of a computer together. All parts of the computer together connect we use this motherboard. Okay. Each motherboard has a collection of chips and controllers known as the chipset. Or what chips and a collection of chips known as the chipset. The main function of the motherboard is to hold the computer's processor. Computer processor is motherboard located in so that is the main function of the motherboard. Clear children? Let's cover these topics briefly. And the next comes the hard disk. The hard disk is also called the data center of the computer. Okay, you can see the hard disk picture here. Operating software, content created and saved by the users are stored here until explicitly deleted. All operating system software content created save stored till it is deleted. The hard disk is usually found inside a computer. Computer na hard disk. It is a magnetic disk on which you can store multiple types of data and applications. The document and content that the user creates, saves, the software to operate the computer are all stored on the hard disk. Ningal documents paladum create cheyyunnadum save cheyyunnadum software ningal operate cheyyana software are all stored on the hard disk. Hard disk hold more data and are faster than other storage media like compact disk, pen drive, etc. It holds more data. Where storage media faster like compact disk CD or pen drive data store high storage capacity and work very faster. The capacity of hard drive is usually measured in gigabytes, that is GB, and terabytes. Gigabytes and terabytes and measured in a capacity on a hard disk. Let's move on to microprocessor. It's an integrated circuit IC which incorporates core functions of a computer CPU. It's an integrated circuit. IC is an integrated circuit which incorporates core functions of a computer's CPU. It is a programmable multi-purpose silicon chip that accepts digital data as input, processes it according to the instructions in its memory, and provides the results as output. Clear? Digital data accept as input, process according to the instructions in its memory, and provides a result as output. It is the main processing center of the computer. This is about the Intel microprocessor. It contains almost all the CPU functions and it is the engine that goes into motion when you turn your computer on. Your computer on this engine that is the most the CPU functions carry out in the microprocessor. It is located inside the computer case on the motherboard. Its job is to carry out the commands. The latest microprocessor is Intel's latest and 6th generation chip called the Pentium processor. Children, you might have heard about this i5, i7 processor, isn't it? So a higher number of means the better performance. i5, i7 processor so എത്ര high number ആയിരിക്കും അത്രയും better performance കിട്ടും നിങ്ങൾക്ക്. That is about this microprocessor. Now let's move on to the next slide. Graphic card is an expansion card that allows a computer to send graphical information to a video display device such as a monitor. Graphical information നിങ്ങളുടെ മോണിറ്ററിൽ സെൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഡിവൈസ് ആണ് ഈ ഗ്രാഫിക് കാർഡ്. The graphic card is also known as video card. graphics adapter or video adapter. Clear? Now about the system fan. A system fan or in case fan is located inside the CPU, attached to the front of the back case of its case. It helps bring cool air into and blow hot air out of the case. Cool air athotum, blow hot air out of the case. That is the system fan. And you can see the bus cables. A bus is a digital pathway that connects devices and resources. A computer has two main types of bus called system bus and peripheral bus. Digital pathway and that connects devices and resources. Pala devices ne pala resources ne connect cheyan venditana ee bus upayogikkuna bus cables. So a computer has mainly two types of bus called system bus and peripheral bus. This is about all the parts which is inside about the CPU. This is SMPS, graphic card, heat sink, system fan and bus cables. Clear, children? Now let's move on to the back side of the CPU. At the back of the desktop CPU, we find many sockets. These are called the sockets, the ports. So these are called the connection ports, which are used to connect external devices like keyboard and mouse, speakers, power and monitor to the CPU. Then external ports are various external ports at the back side of the CPU. Ports are of different shapes and sizes. Some examples are network port, USB port, printer port. Different ports carry different amounts of information. The color and the look of the port help you quickly identify it. Sometimes it will be in different colors. Sometimes like keyboard and mouse and different colors. The color and the look of a port helps you quickly identify it while connecting the peripheral devices to the CPU. On the back in the laptop, you will find these ports on the left and right edges of the laptop. I'll just briefly cover about the different ports at the back side of the CPU. So the back of a desktop CPU box, various ports are available on a panel to connect external devices. ഈ external devices connect ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് പല devices ഉണ്ട് ഇവിടെ. അതിനെയാണ് ports എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. On a laptop, these are available on the left and right edges. Some common ports and the details are as follows. PS/2 port is used to connect the mouse and the keyboard. This is PS/2 port. Mouse and keyboard, you can find the different colors. Ethernet port is used to connect the network cable. 2. This is the network cable port. Audio jack socket is used to connect various audio devices including speakers, microphone and headset. 3. That is this one. Okay. Speaker, microphone, headset connect cheyan vendite we use this audio jack socket. And VGA port is used to connect to the monitor. 4. This is the VGA port. This is used to connect to the monitor, VGA port. And USB port is one of the most useful ports. That is 5. This is USB port. USB port allows you to attach a variety of devices such as mouse, printer, keyboard, web camera, USB flash drive and digital camera to the computer easily and quickly. Most peripherals have a USB version. In addition, this panel also has power cord sockets and a fan to cool the CPU. Clear, children? Let's move to the next slide. As you all know, computer is a machine that does not possess any intelligence of its own. A computer is without instructions is like a car without an engine. So it requires a set of instructions called a program which are written in computer languages. So software is a collection of programs that are stored and run on a computer hardware and help users to work on a computer. We have already covered these topics, isn't it? So a program is a set of instructions which are given to the computer, and the software is a collection of programs that help the hardware to work. Okay, software is that part of the computer that cannot be touched or seen. This particular table you have learnt in the 7th standard. Software is of two types, system software and application software. The system software is again divided into 3 types: operating system, utility programs and language processor. I hope you all remember this table. Okay, let's move to the next slide. The different operating systems are Windows, Linux, Red Hat, Mac OS. These are the different examples of operating system. You can see the pictures here. The next slide. About the operating system. Operating system is a part of system software. It is a basic software required to run a computer. Basic aayittulla software aanu ee operating system. It is needed to operate a computer. An operating system controls overall activities of a computer. Ella complete overall activities control cheyyunnathu edana ee operating system. It is a software that is installed on hard disk. Hard disk le install cheyyana software aanu ee operating system. It is responsible for managing computer hardware and software resources. Complete management, that is hardware and software and resources ella manage cheyyunnathaane ee operating system. A software is very much essential for a computer. A computer without an operating system is like a TV without an electricity. Okay. TV or electricity ഇല്ലാണ്ട് എങ്ങനെയാണ് അതേപോലെയാണ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ വേണം, then only you can work on a computer. It is that essential. So it is a basic software required to run a computer. Otherwise, without an operating system, a computer will not work. It acts as an interface between the user and the hardware. User-ഉം hardware-ഉം തമ്മിലുള്ള ലിങ്ക് എസ്റ്റാബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതാണ് ഈ ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം. It manages all the software and hardware resources on the computer. എല്ലാ ഹാർഡ്വെയറും സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയറും റിസോഴ്സസ് എല്ലാം മാനേജ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം. The operating system acts as a resource allocator. A computer system has mainly many resources. Okay, it acts as a manager of these resources. So, and allocates them to specific programs and users as necessary. Ella manager of these resources, it allocates specific programs to different and users as necessary. It controls the memory needed for computer processes. Memory എത്ര വേണം, computer processing എത്ര memory വേണം, എത്ര disk space വേണം, എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് peripheral devices, the peripheral devices and user communication with the computer. All this is controlled by operating system. Clear, children? So the operating system controls the overall activities of a computer. It acts as a link between the user and the hardware and enables them to work together. Okay, that is about the operating system. An operating system works like the principal of your school. The operating system is also required to run software like Word, Paint, Excel, etc. ഇതെല്ലാം റൺ ചെയ്യിപ്പിക്കുന്നത് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റമാണ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ പാക്കേജസ് ലൈക്ക് വേർഡ്, പെയിന്റ്, എക്സൽ, ഓൾ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ബീങ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റഡ് ബൈ ദിസ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ. Examples of operating system are Linux, Windows, Mac OS, Red Hat, etc. All these are examples of different operating system. So an operating system works to the principal of a school. How it can be, I'll just give you an example about that. It works like the principal of your school. As the principal has various responsibilities to manage the school like supervising students, teachers and workers, maintaining discipline, setting the examination schedule, timetable, curriculum, and attending parents and visitors. In the same way, an operating system performs various functions to manage the working of a computer. Clear? Imagine what will happen if there is no principal in a school. Everything will be mismanaged, isn't it? Similarly, an operating system of a computer, if an operating system of a computer is not working properly, you cannot work on it. It is that essential part of a computer. It is that essential software. It is also required to run software like Paint, Word, Excel. All these are application software packages which are being run by operating system. Clear, children? Shall we move to the next? Now children, may I know the Windows 10 is the latest version of the operating system. Are you used to this Windows 10 operating system? Please let me know your opinions in the next class. Windows 10 operating system il ningal aarengiലും വർക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ? I hope you are used to in working with this Windows 10 operating system. If you are not I'll just give you a brief idea on how to use this Windows 10 operating system. Okay, brief I cover in the coming classes. Please do let me know whether you have used to in working with this Windows 10 operating system. Now let's move to this BIOS software. BIOS, that is Basic Input Output System. BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. It is the first software that runs on a computer when it is switched on. Computer switch on ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇതായിരുന്നു ആദ്യത്തെ software that runs on a computer. When we switch on a computer, a software called Basic Input Output System starts or boots the computer. ഈ software ഉടനെ start ആവും when we switch on a computer. Okay, that is called booting. This software resides on a small chip called ROM, read-only memory. ROM is a part of the motherboard. This ROM is software reside in this particular software starts when the computer is being switched on. BIOS checks whether all the hardware units are working. Adyam BIOS adu check cheyum ella hardware units okke work cheyunno that is keyboard, mouse, printer, all the devices which are attached to the computer, whether all are working or not, it checks. When we switch on a computer, we see many messages informing us about the status of the hardware. These messages are from BIOS. Okay, എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ഓൺ ചെയ്ത ഉടനെ നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് ഇങ്ങനെ മെസ്സേജസ് ഇങ്ങനെ വന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും, ലൈക്ക് ഇൻഫോമിംഗ് ദ സ്റ്റാറ്റസ് ഓഫ് ദി ഹാർഡ്വെയർ. ഈ ഹാർഡ്വെയറിന്റെ സ്റ്റാറ്റസ് ആണ് കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ, കീബോർഡ്, മൗസ്, പ്രിന്റർ, സ്കാനർ, അതെല്ലാം എന്തൊക്കെ അറ്റാച്ച് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് അതിന്റെ എല്ലാ സ്റ്റാറ്റസ് ഇങ്ങനെ കാണിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നതാണ്. അത് ഏത് സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ആണ്? BIOS. If a hardware component is not working, then the BIOS gives a corresponding error message. Okay, ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു hardware component it's not working properly, then the corresponding message will be given it in error, like this particular hardware device is not working എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് റിപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് ഈ BIOS, Basic Input Output System. The most important role of BIOS is to load the operating system OS into memory. ഫസ്റ്റ് ടാസ്ക് എന്താണ്? എല്ലാ ഹാർഡ്വെയർ യൂണിറ്റ്സ് എല്ലാം വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നോന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യും. നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഫംഗ്ഷൻ എന്താണ്? ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം, അതായത് ആ ഒരു ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം മെമ്മറിയിലോട്ട് ലോഡ് ചെയ്യണതാണ് ഈ BIOS. ഓക്കെ, when you turn on your computer, the CPU needs instructions to locate the operating system on the hard disk. The computer turns on ചെയ്ത ഉടനെ the CPU needs instructions to locate the operating system. Instructions വേണം, ഈ operating system locate ചെയ്യാനുള്ള instructions വേണം, and those instructions are provided by this BIOS, Basic Input Output System. Clear, children? So this is the basic input. These are the two functions of BIOS. First it checks whether all the hardware units are working or not, and then it loads the operating system into memory. That is the next function of BIOS. Okay, then it checks the CPU that needs instructions to locate the operating system on the hard disk. അപ്പോൾ ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം എവിടെയാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ചെക്ക് ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസ് വേണേൽ അത് ലൊക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. സോ ദീസ് ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസ് ആർ പ്രൊവൈഡഡ് ബൈ ദിസ് BIOS, Basic Input Output System. Clear? Next slide. You can see the picture of BIOS over here. This is the booting process. It is checking all the hardware devices. So the first task of BIOS, that is whether all the hardware units are working or not. It checks this BIOS, and its next task is to load the operating system, which is on a hard disk, into memory. Operating system hard disk operating system memory load ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് next task, and the BIOS gives control of the computer to the operating system. After performing all these two basic functions, it gives the complete control to the operating system. So that process is known as booting. അതിനെയാണ് ബൂട്ടിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയുക. ഓക്കെ, ആ ഒരു കംപ്ലീറ്റ് കൺട്രോൾ ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിന് കൊടുക്കും. ഈ രണ്ട് ഫംഗ്ഷൻസും ചെയ്തതിന് ശേഷം കംപ്ലീറ്റ് കൺട്രോൾ ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിന് കൊടുക്കും. ആ പ്രോസസ്സിനെയാണ് ബൂട്ടിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയുക. BIOS is usually stored on a ROM, on the motherboard. It can be easily be updated. This is the booting process, which is shown on the right side. Clear, children? We shall move to the next slide. So in this slide, we can see the difference between BIOS and operating system. The BIOS has very limited instructions. At the end of booting process, BIOS hands over the control to the operating system. BIOS limited instructions undavullo. Booting cheyidane shesham BIOS hands over the complete control to the operating system. Actions from the user login to application execution, input, output, processing and device control are handled by the operating system. ഇതെല്ലാം ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം. യൂസർ ഇങ്ങനെ കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നപ്പോൾ തൊട്ട് ഇൻപുട്ടും ഔട്ട്പുട്ടും പ്രോസസ്സിങ്ങും ഡിവൈസ് കൺട്രോളും എല്ലാം ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതാണ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം. So the operating system loads at the end of booting process. From this point, it controls the way in which the computer functions. So the BIOS, what does it do? First, it checks whether the hardware units are working or not, and then it loads the operating system which is on the hard disk into memory, and then it gives a complete control to the operating system. So this process is known as booting. Okay. So after that, the operating system manages everything. So this is the difference between BIOS and OS. This comes to the end of the session. Here we end our session. So thank you children. Thank you for being with me. Do the worksheet which will be sent through PDF. Last week I had given you fill in the blanks MCQ questions of networking concepts in first chapter. Isn't it? First chapter na fill in the blanks MCQ questions കഴിഞ്ഞ ആഴ്ച തന്നിരുന്നു. This week I had given you question answers to be written in this chapter, networking concepts. Networking concepts le question answers ee week le worksheet le തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. Okay children. And about today's session, crossword is there and rearrange steps are there and where the following are stored. Even that is also be there. That is also there in this particular worksheet, which will be sent to you shortly. Okay, about the crossword puzzle, everybody knows how to write. And rearrange the steps. The steps are written in a jumbled way. You have to rearrange the steps in the correct order. The first step has been numbered in that particular question. The remaining questions correctly number the steps and then write it in correct order. Okay. And next is where the following are locally stored. എല്ലാം ഇത് എല്ലാ applications എവിടെയാണ് സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് അത് ഒന്ന് എഴുതുക. Okay. And one more important point children. Please get ready for a test paper on first chapter. That is about the networking concepts. Next week through Google Forms. MCQ ആയിരിക്കും ചോദിക്കുന്നത് ത്രൂ ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോംസ് ആയിരിക്കും. കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ പീരിയഡിൽ തന്നെ കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ. വർക്ക്ഷീറ്റ് 6 ആൻഡ് വർക്ക്ഷീറ്റ് 8. വർക്ക്ഷീറ്റ് 6 10 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഉണ്ട് ആൻഡ് വർക്ക്ഷീറ്റ് 8 the textbook questions 5 are there. So total 15 questions you are having, isn't it? And from this networking concepts only 10 questions will be asked as MCQ through Google Forms next Tuesday 5 o'clock in the same computer period. Okay. So get ready for the test paper on networking concepts. After writing the test paper on networking concepts, we have to write a CT also on flowcharts. Simple MCQ questions. Okay. So get ready for the chapter, for the CT, for these two CTs. Okay. Now do the worksheet which will be sent to you through PDF. Thank you children. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.